Okay. Yeah. So recording is started, team. Good morning, team. In this VM Master program, in today's session, we will talk about load data from different REST APIs to ADL agent with the for each. The source is REST API. The target is data lake storage Gen 2. So we are going to copy data from REST API to ADL Gen 2. So, but what is REST API? Anybody have any idea? Anybody have any idea what is REST API? Nobody have any idea? Nobody aware? Okay, fine. If you are if you are not aware, remember REST API. Okay. So RESTful API means so if you want full form of REST means representational state transfer. Okay, state transfer is the REST API means application programming interface. Okay, so it's an interface between the applications and the programming. The application programming interface. It is basically used for interaction between the two applications. So now, where exactly this REST APIs will be used? Okay, so the main advantage of the REST APIs is we can, so instead of giving the access to direct source system, let's say maybe your source is SQL server, any other file system or whatever, doesn't matter. Instead of giving full access to developer, we can just provide a REST API URL. Okay, so instead of giving full access to the developer to source system, we can just provide REST API URL. So what developer can do is developer can access data using REST URL. Okay, REST API URL they can able to use to access the data. Now let's say I want to send the customer data in the JSON format. So you can create a one URL, okay, one REST API URL, one REST API URL, and you can give it to the end user. Let's say there is an employee table. I want to send it as a CSV format. Okay, so I can just create a one more REST API URL and I can give it to them. Let's say there is a salaries table. In the salary table, so for each grade there are salaries. I don't want to display full salaries. I want to display based on the role. Okay, based on role, okay, I want to display that particular row records using REST API. Let's say A grade 10 lakhs, B grade 8 lakhs, C grade 5 lakhs, like that. Now, role is like A grade. A is the role. Okay. So when we have a A role, so you are just going to display the salary is 10 lakhs. If the person is sending the role as B, so for them we are going to select that particular row where we have a grade is B and we are going to send 8 lakhs. So that we are going to do it using the again REST API URL, but here we are going to pass parameter as role. Okay. Okay, so this basically you can say it's a great flexibility for us. It's a one of the main advantages flexibility. The flexibility is if you want to display only part of the data, you can just pass the part of the data for security reasons. If you want to send full data, you can send the full data. And you can also give the you can just give the full access. You can just send full data of the customer in a JSON format. If you want the end user to be received CSV data, you can just convert into CSV and send it. So all these things who can able to do is whoever is developing the REST APIs, they have to do it. So REST APIs we are not going to develop it. REST APIs will be developed by the separate developers. We have Java developer, Python developer, right? They are web application developers. So similarly, we have a REST API developer who will responsible for developing these RESTful URLs and all. Okay. Now you may ask, but how we can able to test? How we can able to learn? So there are some online sample APIs will be there. Okay, sample online REST API. Okay, you can go to any of those things. You can go to dummy sample REST API. So here you see, if you want all the employee details, you just click on this link. So you can see all the employee details it is giving. Let's say you want only particular employee details. See one they are adding employee ID one details they want. So they are giving one. So, too many requests. I think many people are accessing. In this case, we can't use this because if we use this, we will have more failures. Okay, just to go here. You will see many things like this. Okay, come down. Let's say I want posts. Okay, all right, click, close everything, click on posts here. So user ID 1, okay, ID 1, ID 2, ID 3, user ID 1 only, but ID is 1, 2, 3. So up to we have, I think, 1000 IDs. Sorry, ID 100. We have up to ID 100. So I can just get the posts. If I want comments, so I also have the comments. Let's say if I want albums, just click on album. So album details also have. So now I just have to just click on post. So this is the URL that I need to use to access all this data. So here this is public because it's a online fake API. But in the reality, in the real time, what we will have, so client will provide the URL, username and the password. So when you have URL, username and password, then only you can able to access the REST API output. Clear? You can able to access the REST URL. Now this is the URL that I am going to use to access the data. Okay. So this data I'll store it in the data lake storage. First, let's talk about only one RESTful API URL. So later we will see if we have multiple URLs with the different scenarios, how we can able to do. But let me just quickly create synapse now. One more thing is REST API is very frequent requirements in real time. Okay, because why I am taking this much risk, because finding the things in the online and explaining to you all possible ways, because this is one of the very important scenario. Okay, 90% of the people will get this scenario in real time. 90% means out of 100 people, 90 people has to ingest the data from the REST API to the data lake. Okay, this is the resource group. Workspace name is Cloud Funded. Synapse workspace 0805. So maybe I'll just change it to Cloud Pandit ADLS 0805. Click OK. File system name is global. Click OK. Okay. So once you have all these things, just click on security. Username. So the password. Okay, just enter the username and password. Basically, username and password you don't require, right? So let it be not an issue. Just click Google plus create. Because we don't require the username and password as we are not using data warehouse. Click create. So it takes some 3-4 minutes to create. Just wait. So I'll also tell you something that is so Postman. So Postman just enter. So Postman API platform. Just to click on this. Let me sign in. Okay, so for you also you need a account. First let's create an account. Okay, click sign up free for free. Sign up for free. Okay, so maybe let's say Cloud Pandit 43 at the rate gmail.com. Cloud Pandit 43. Just to click create account. Okay, so here you say this is the URL. Okay, you put that URL here. Do you have any keys that you have? Do you have any username and password? If you have any username and password, you need to put the API key or what kind of authentication. But remember, this is basically anonymous authentication, no auth. There is no authentication is required. Just click send. So you need to put the URL here. Okay. So if you have any authentication method, you just let's say API key, just select API key. You need to put the API key name, value, all these things. So once you kept all these things right, but for this one there is no authentication. That's why I'm putting no auth. Then what you can do, you just have to send. When you send it, you can able to query the data. So basically in real time. So whenever they have given username and password, right, before we create a pipeline in Synapse or ADF, we will use Postman tool to test whether with this URL, with these credentials, whether I am able to access the data or not. It's a JSON data. Okay, so we can just test whether all the data is coming or not. Okay, when come here, the JSON, this is Azure. Okay, clear. Any questions to him here? Okay, so Synapse is ready. Now go to resource group, expand this, open Synapse Studio. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to manage. Go to linker services. Click new again. What is the source? REST API? REST. Select REST. ls for REST API. Base URL. What is the base URL? This is the one. Put this URL here. Authentication type is there is no authentication, anonymous you need to put, because there is no authentication first. But in real time, surely you will have basic username and password or service principal. Okay, so one of this authentication you will have for sure whenever they are down. Okay, now test the connection. Okay, so connection successful. You can create. This is ls underscore REST API. Click new. So next we have a connection to the ADLS Gen 2 already available, right? This is ADLS Gen 2, this is the REST API. Now come to simple integrate tab, click on new, create a pipeline one. So in this pipeline one, just bring the copy data. So what is our source? REST API, just click on new, REST API, select it. Just put ds underscore REST API. This is the linker service. So you no need to do anything, just click OK. Okay. Now come to sync. Click ADLS Gen 2 CSV. So if you want to convert the JSON into CSV, you can do it. But if you want to keep it as a JSON, let it be JSON. DS for ADLS Gen 2. If you want to keep it as is JSON, you can do that. Okay. This is the linked service. Let's say global India slash landing slash what is this? User data. Okay. Under user data one, let's say. Okay. Click on. Under user data one folder, we are writing all the data. So why it is throwing error? Because these folders are not available. You can't import schema. Click none. Click OK. Okay, that's a very simple pipeline. It's debug now. Here, click on this. So objects read is 100. Rows written is 100. Rows read is 100. Rows written is 100. Succeeded from the REST API to the ADLS Gen 2. Now let's move on to the data lake storage. Go to data. Go to linked. Expand this data lake. Expand this. Click on global. Go inside India. Landing. Okay, this is a folder. In this folder, this is the file which is created. As you can't open, you just download this file. Open this file. You can see 100 files. Okay. This is the ID1, CID1, ID2, ID3. Like this, we have a ID100. At NAM consequent. See 100th ID value was what? At NAM consecutor E Lebra E Arun. something like this. Okay, so you can randomly verify whether the data is correct or not. So everything will be perfectly loaded into the data gen. Clear, all of you? So this is the first very simple REST API. If we have, you can ingest data like this. All of you clear on this? Part 1 is completed. Everybody's clear?
Yes, Malay.
Very good. Let's move on to the second scenario. Now you come here. Let's say now I am doing here 1. So 1 I am getting. Okay. Now let's say 2. If I put ID 2, I am getting. Let's say I want to put 3. I'll get a ID 3. Okay. If I put further 4 means ID 4, I get, and so on. Okay. So there is a requirement wherein you need to copy data only from maybe starting point is some 30 to 50 only. It is 30 to 50. There is a requirement. Maybe otherwise the starting point is 40. So you need to copy until 80, something like that. If you have a requirement, how you can able to copy such kind of things, I'll show you. Okay, now come here. Getting? Okay, we will fix the numbers. I want to copy data from, so post ID number 22, okay, ID number 30. ID number 22, ID number 30. I want to copy only 10 to 12, sorry, 20 to 30. How we can build a pipeline, I'll tell you. Maybe we can delete this file because it will like load the data into the another file. Okay, go back to the pipeline. Now very simple. Maybe let's create a new pipeline instead of this pipeline. Okay. Okay. Pipeline for limited IDs. Okay. Maybe now come to variables. Let's create a. You see here. I'm creating total 3 variables. You'll come to know why I'm creating 3 variables. Pipeline variable for starting number. Pipeline variable for end number. Pipeline variable for temporary variable. Okay. So maybe here we don't have anything. Let it be string. Okay. Starting number I'm giving 20. So end number I'm giving 30. Pipeline variable, temp variable I'm just giving it as pipeline temp variable I'm just giving as a 0. Anything you can give. Okay. One more variable I'm giving. Pipeline variable for until flag. Okay. So until flag is what by default? So it's a boolean type. By default it's a false. Now I'm just using until settings. Until flag you can just go to variables. Until flag. Until flag is what now? False. False means inside activities will keep running. Inside what I'll do, I will use copy data activity. Okay. In this copy activity, so source is what? REST API. All the data set is ready. Sync is ADLS Gen 2. Okay. Now very careful observe here. What I am trying to do here is go to open this REST API dataset. Okay, you open right now. Carefully see dataset parameters are there. I am creating one parameter ds param for ID. Okay, that ID I'll pass it here as a relative URL so that what it does, this relative URL will be appended to the this base URL. base URL is, let's say post is the base URL. I am passing relative URL as 1, then it will become a 1 like this. Okay. So now go back to the pipeline. Now you see it is asking for the ID. So what is the ID value? So what I will do, the ID value is ID value. I'll just starting
What
number.
time?
Hold on.
Starting number.
Hold on. So ID is, I'm starting number, I'm giving ID. Okay. Now come to sync. Sync side also I'll create a folder with the ID. So that's why open sync data set. So what I'll do, you create one more parameter here. DS param for ID. What I'll do here for this, okay. ID if I pass 1 means with 1 folder will be created. Okay. 2 means with the 2 folder will be created like that. So sync side also folders are going to create. Now same starting number you can put it here. Okay, fine. Now here what I'll do, if condition, after copy activity I'll use if condition. If add dynamic content, starting number is equals to ending number. If starting number is equal to ending number means what? So it reached the certain point. Condition is this is true means the starting number became the ending number, meaning all the matching condition is matched means all the IDs are copied. Now go inside it true. If it is matched, everything is matched means I need to come out of the until. I should not go further for copying. That's why I'll use the set variable here to set the until flag value to true. Okay. In case if this condition is false, what I should do? Tell me. If 20 is not equal to 30,
Copy.
Increment the
And
value.
copy.
Increment the value.
increment the value. Very good. So for that, go inside false. Here the main problem with this is you can't see start number. You can't do like this. See, you cannot achieve like this. Starting number, comma 1. You can't add. Add function is there, but you cannot add like this. What is saying? The expression contains self-referencing variable. Self means this one only you are using to increment 1 and reassigning to the same. That's why it is not supported. That is the reason why, if you remember, I have created a temp variable. So what I'll do, first starting number is what? Start number is currently 20. So what I'm going to do for this 20, I'm adding 1 now. So currently this is of a type string that I need to convert into int. Okay. So now starting number is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. So now it's a integer number, but output again I want a string. So that's why again I'll convert it back to the string. Okay. Now 21 will be assigned to the temp variable. Now again what I need to do? I need to use one more set variable to reassign for starting number. I want to assign the temp variable value. What is the temp variable value now? What is the temp variable value now? What is the temp?
Starting number plus 1.
That is 21. 21 you are assigned. Okay. Once this execution is completed, so until flag is not true, again copy activity will run with the starting number is 21. Once it is copied, again it will verify 21 is equal to 30. No condition false again. Again it will increment 1. So now starting number will become a 22. For 22 it will copy like that. Up to 30 it will copy. Once 30 is copied, it will check starting number is became the 30, ending number is also 30, both are equal. So condition true means set variable equal to true until will come out. Yeah, so that's how this will work. Any doubts, please let me know. Before I run the pipeline, please let me know if you have any doubts.
Okay, here in the destination side, we have 10 folders created, and in that each folder, one file will be created, right?
Correct. Correct.
So we can merge into all the files and all the data into only one single file. I mean, appending.
So for that, what you need to do first thing is you have to load all the data into a single folder. Anyhow, file names will be different. Later, once everything is loaded into a single folder, after the until activity, again you put one more copy activity here. So this copy activity, what it does, it will combine all those files into a single file. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Malay, here you have explained URL with params. So, are you going to explain any request body which is having some username, password, and a different kind of request body? Malay?
No, no, no. We don't have such type of things for free. That's all.
Okay.
Any other questions too? Just debug now. See? Start number became 21. Okay. Now start number became 22, 23. 22 is here, I think. Okay, 21 is here. Okay, 21, 22, 23. So keep on running. 25, 25th record is running. So up to 30 it will run. Let's see. You can also see simultaneously in the global. Just refresh this user data one folder. You can say 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So all these folders are getting created. See 26th also created now. 27th is created now. Okay. So if you keep refreshing, so one by one it is copying. So you'll get. See 28th folder also came. Like this up to 30th folder will come. Let's see. See 30th one is running. So copy activity is running. After that, if condition. So if condition satisfies, set variable one is running. What it does? It will make the until activity to true, and until activity will come out. It will not re-execute the inner activity. See, until also succeeded, so nothing will get executed. So everything is succeeded. Nothing is rerunning. Okay, nothing is rerunning. Now go here global, refresh it. See up to 30 folders are created. Okay, clear all of you. Let's say now you asked one more question, right? Let me delete. Okay. Main problem is I will not be able to show you. See, in the 20th, you have a different file. If you just download this file and see, 20th data will be there. 20th ID 20 data will be there. See, ID 20th data is there. Now, what we can do is, let's say, not this one, come here. You ask some question, right? Let's say, I'm deleting this. Not only this, let's say user data one I'm deleting. Now you asked one question. What is that question? So I want to load all the data into a copy data instead of loading into folders. I don't want this parameter. Okay, just go to data lake, remove this parameter, come to connections. Here also you just load all the data into the user data one folder. You load all the data into the user data one folder. So now all the data is loaded into the user data one folders. Maybe I'll reduce the IDs also up to 5 only because it takes a lot of time. Again, if I put it up to 10. So let's say 20 to 25 or let's say 40 to 45. So from 40 to 45 IDs only if I want to copy, I just give a start number, ending number. Now what I need to do, yeah, so if I run, it will copy the 40 to 45th ID data into the ADLS. See, these can be IDs or these can be timestamps. So timestamp, maybe they'll say January 5th to January 20th data, January 10th to January 15th data, they may ask to reload. So you just have to give the start date and end date, like the start number and end number. So once you have given like this, all the 5 days of data will be loaded into the data. Now what will happen? So all the data is in a single folder. After this, you use one more copy activity. What this copy activity does is, it points to the data lake which you have pointing to. So it points to the wildcard file path. Okay. Come to sync. Sync side again same data lake storage Gen2 only, but I'm just creating a not maybe I'll just create JSON only. DS for data lake Gen2 merge. Linker service is this. So I load the data into the global slash India slash landing slash user data merge. Okay, maybe you can say merged user data. Okay, so this is the folders. There the folders not available. You can't import schema. Click none. Click OK. Now here copy behavior you need to put it as a merge files. You need to put the copy behavior as a merge files. Now you debug. See, copy data 2 is running now until it's come out and copy data 2 is running. Let's click on copy data to. You can see files read is 6 files it read, and files written is only 1. Okay.
One file.
Now you go to global, refresh it. You see under landing, you can see merged user data folder where you have all the 6 records which are merged. 22, 25th means 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, total 6 are there, right? So you just download. Sorry, 40 to 45. 40 to
Yeah,
45 we have
40,
gathered. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So all the 6 are there, okay? 40 to 45th.
yeah,
Okay. So what we have done
okay.
initially, we have loaded all the data into the user data one. Okay. So 40th, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 data we have loaded here. So all the 6 records we have combined and loaded into the another folder called merged user data. So clear all of this. Yeah, so one more final scenario is there. So I'll just explain that. Before that, any questions, please let me know in the pipeline design or whatever. You need to practice the previous labs, that is very sure. And you are also have seen, so I have given lot of time for your batch basically. So last week also 2 days, before that maybe 10 days back also Saturdays and I have not taken. So a lot of time I'm giving for you to practice. So if you are practicing or not, up to you, because I'm not going to get anything if you practice. Even if you're not practicing, I'm not going to get anything. So, but if you practice, you will definitely get benefited. You will be able to understand things. Okay, so any questions, let me know, team. Otherwise, I'll just quickly explain the final scenario. Okay, so the final scenario that I wanted to explain is, let's say I have a course. Maybe say right click and duplicate it. Go back. So maybe let's to JSON placeholder only. Maybe I have different REST URLs itself. URLs itself different. Okay. Maybe let's say you may have comments. You may have comments. You may have posts. You may have different things. Okay. So you have comments. Then you may have albums. You may have photos and so on. So let's take all the URLs. So this is the URL. Posts is this is the URL. Next, comments. This is the URL. Okay. Next, albums. Go back. Click on photos. Select photos. Go back. Click on to dos. Maybe you can have users. Okay. So you have the, let's say, REST URL, comma, a sync container, comma, sync folder. Maybe okay. So what you can do, global, and I want to load data into the India slash landing slash okay, posts. Getting team, what I'm doing here? Anybody is able to understand?
Adding the URL to sync. Adding URL to URL to sync where we need to store the data directly.
Correct. Okay. Albums like this. So it's just a configuration file instead of configuration table. I just created a configuration uh, file which has REST URL, sync container, sync folder. You just copy, save as. You can say file config dot csv or whatever you want to give. You can give. You will store it. Okay, save. Where I can keep it, this one configurations, where I can store, where I can store the configurations. Configuration, you can store it in the data lake directly. Okay, come here, data lake inside global in India, maybe within India, you can also create one more folder called config folder. Okay, so under config folder, we can upload. Just click upload, browse it, go to config. You can say file config.csv. Open, upload. So we have file config.csv is here. Now if you go back, you can see landing. So under landing, whatever you have doesn't matter, but landing itself I'm deleting. It will recreate again. Okay. Landing itself I'm deleting. Now inside India, you can have other folders like landing. Inside landing, you have posts folder, albums folder, you have to-dos folder, photos, and so on folders will be there. In respective folders, you will have the respective data. But how to build the pipeline? This kind of pipelines are very easy for you already. I hope everybody aware. Create a pipeline 3. What you can do is you just have to use the lookup activity to come to settings. So uncheck the first row, click new, radial gen 2 as a CSV, DS for radial gen 2 lookup. This is a linker service. First is at browse it, global, select that file config file. Okay. Config, file config.csv, click OK, just debug. Okay, so now come inside, not input side, output side. If you see again, count is 6, values are these are the values. Okay, these are the values what we have. Just keep them here somewhere. So this particular CSV file became, each row became like this. Okay, now what we can do, close this. So lookup output, I'll pass it to the for each for iterations. Inside for each sequential dynamic content. Maybe what you can do, lookup output dot value, go inside for each. So what you can do here, copy data activity. Okay. Source. What is source? Again, create a new REST API. I'll tell you because you need to do a complete parameterization REST. Source. Okay. This is the linked service. 1 second. Don't use this linked service because in this linked service things are hard coded. Click new now. Okay, this is the ls for REST API source. So you need to put the base URL. So you see here, is there any base URL? Instead of doing all these things, very simple thing is create a linked service parameter. You should click new ls arrow for URL. Okay. Now add base URL, add dynamic content, select ls param URL. Okay. Then you just use here anonymous connection. So no need to test the connection as well. Just click. Okay. So linker service also parameterized. Click OK. Now you open this data set. Will tell you, because see, we need to pass the value to here. You can't pass the value directly to the linker service parameter. So that's why I'll create one data set parameter for REST URL. This data set parameter value I pass into the linker service parameter. CDS param value I am passing to the linker service parameter. But this particular data set parameter REST URL I need to pass it from where? Item dot REST URL. Yes or no?
Here.
Correct?
Yes.
REST URL. That's all. Come to sync side. So you are well aware of the data lake storage parameterization. So just don't select anything, click OK. Open this data set. Create two parameters, container name and sync container, and what else we need?
Folder.
This is a sync container. This is the sync folder. Okay. So sync container is item dot
Source.
okay. Folder name is item dot
Sync folder.
click OK. Okay. Sync container and this is sync folder. Okay, clear. Now just debug now. Now you see, so these are the URLs and it has to load data into the respective folders. You just refresh, you see one copy activity succeeded, another is running. Meantime, if you go to the global, so here if you see the folders will be created as landing. Inside landing, you will see the folders, comments, posts. If you keep on refreshing, you will get one album because the copy activity is copying one by one into the data lake storage. So if you go inside of any of this, you will see all the data with respect to the respective REST API. If you go to albums related, all the data will be there in one of the file. You can see that file. Okay. Yeah, 5 came. So the last one also copying the total 6, right? So total 6 came now. Okay, total 6. Now if you go to pipeline, if you refresh, you will see entire pipeline is succeeded. You go to global, you see all the folders came. You go to to-dos and download this file. You can just compare the data and see. So to-dos will have the user ID title. I think sync I have selected as CSV, that's why it has flattened the data. So if you have not converted into the CSV, it will show it as is JSON. Because if you see the to-dos data, I closed. If you see, so to-dos data is like this, JSON, right? So JSON became what now? It became the CSV. So within the ADF, if you have taken a sync as a CSV, it will automatically convert and load it as a CSV. Okay, yeah. So that's all about the REST API to data lake data ingestion. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Munira, if we have a data quality issues, right, where we can fix those, for example, an user API which has sent the wrong data, for example, apostrophe in between address test split into 2 columns. So how can we handle such scenarios? Is there any exception handling to reject only particular records?
Data quality, we are not going to do it here. So data quality, we will do it using the data flows or data bricks. So data flows is another, this one if you see, develop, you will have a data flows, because data validation, we can't do it here. You just can able to ingest the data. Those things we will see in the future.
Thing, if, for example, streaming data will be there every 6 seconds, the data is getting refreshed. We have to use which API for that instance? REST
Which
API.
API? No,
Yeah,
no.
in
Which API? REST API only we will use mostly, but remember, so for streaming process and all, if you are using REST API, it will be very problematic for you. The reason is you are ingesting data continuously and your REST API has to do the incremental routes. It's a complex process. Instead of that, you have the best services for processing your streaming of data, that is event hubs. You have stream analytics. Event hubs will take those events live, and stream analytics will do the data processing, like data transformation, all those things, and then you can load the data into the target location.
sure, man. Thanks.
Any other questions, team?
Malay, I have one doubt. Normally, in SSIS, once we create the package, we can generate a spec file and we can share that spec file to someone, other people, so that they can deploy that spec file in their system and they can view the package. Do we have any like spec file kind of thing in this Azure
Not
Data
exact
Factory?
file, but there are ARM templates will be there, so that you can able to export. So ARM templates, if you just click on this pipeline, 1 second, I think. See here, properties. Here, if you see export template, download supported file. Exports template means it just export it as a zip file, and inside that all the required code will be there that you can share.
Okay, how to deploy the same?
Same here,
If
you have the import. Import will be there. You just have to choose it. Okay.
import the zipped file, right, or some other file?
You can't import the zip file. You have to import the JSON files which are there inside the zip.
Okay, okay, okay. I will try it today. If I have any doubts, I will get back.
Yeah. Any other questions, team? Okay, fine. If no questions, then thank you all. Thank you. That's it.